How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than this in the southern part of the country in the IPL. It's CSK against RCB. Both teams have started IPL 2025 with wins against MI and KKR respectively. They meet at the Chepauk, not a pretty ground for RCB in the history of the IPL. Build up to that on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout in the company of Chiteshwar Pujara and Nick Knight, who were very different people the last time RCB beat CSK at the Chepauk. 2008, lifetime back. And I guess the question, Puji, is because of the record and because of what we think CSK will dish out for RCB, slow surface like we saw against MI, CSK certainly start as favourites.
They do, without any doubt. I think the kind of experience they have playing at Chepauk, and the most important part for CSK is their preparation. They are probably one of the best teams before the IPL starts. They start their preparation almost 2 months before the IPL starts, and most of their players are practicing at Chepauk.
Yeah.
So they know the conditions really, really well, whether it's their bowlers, whether it's their batters, and even their all-rounders. All of them know those conditions really well. It will be a big, big task for RCB to win a game there. Their track record suggests that they haven't been playing good cricket over there. And even their batters, I feel it will be a big challenge for them to get close to 170, 180 if they bat first.
They are set up for a team that want to get big runs, Nick, with the makeup of this RCB team. Andy Flowers said that, Mo Bobat has said that. As we look at their record against spin, some of the hard-hitting Bengaluru batters, Tim David, average of 15, run a ball. Krunal Pandya, less than a run a ball. Devdutt Padikkal's been struggling. Liam Livingston doesn't have great numbers against spin. What can they do to disrupt or do something different from what we can expect CSK to dish out?
That is exactly what they're asking themselves, and that is exactly what Andy Flower will be sitting down with his team and working through. I've got a couple of theories for you.
I love theories.
Just a couple of minor things that they might try. So inevitably they're going to use the left hand, right hand. Inevitably it's going to be spin based, pace off the ball. So you use your left hand, right hand as much as you possibly can. I think they've got to charge in the power play. They've got to go really hard, which they will anyway, because Phil Salt will definitely do that. If it were me, I would think about Liam Livingston at number 3. So I'd promote him up to number 3. In case they lose a wicket, then he can just keep the charge going. If I was going to talk to Virat Kohli, I think there's a lot of talk about him and his strike rate in this format of the game. For me, I would say bat through. If you get in, bat through. So you've got a player to bat around a little bit more. So I would probably be more specific with his role in terms of that. They might look at Jacob Bethel. Jacob Bethel's another option for him, good against spin. If he's fully fit, he gives them a left arm option as well. Maybe instead of Tim David, because Tim David's record against spin is not brilliant.
Yep.
So they may look to rejig the balance of the side a little bit. All those kind of things may just help them, who knows?
I like some of those theories. Bethel's a very inviting prospect. Can't help but think, Puji, that against lots of spin at the Chepauk, reliance is going to be on Kohli, on Patidar. Mumbai in the last game, it didn't look like they knew what a good first innings score will be. They ended up with 155, easily chaseable. What would you like to see from RCB's batters if they bat first?
If they bat first, they need to be aggressive. They need to utilize their power play really well. I would insist that Virat shouldn't be changing his game since he's looking like a different player. I do agree that he has to be a bit cautious at Chepauk, but at the same time, for a batter to change overnight, it's not easy because there has been a lot of talk about the way Virat bats in the IPL, and the way he's batting now, he's looking like a different player. So I don't think his approach should change in this particular game.
Take down the spin as well,
Definitely,
like he has
because
been.
he's someone who is capable enough of taking down whether it's Ashwin or Jadeja, and he's probably one of the best players of spin. Maybe not in this format, if you look at just the numbers, but he's a quality player, and I think if he can lead from the front and utilize that power play, and if RCB can get close to 60, 70 in first 6, then they set up a good base for them.
Patidar's built a reputation of attacking spin. Will you expect him to do the same at a ground where it may not be the easiest surface to bat? Patidar against spin, key contest here?
It will be. I think it will not be very easy for him to do that. Looking at the conditions, if the pitch is on this lower side, it doesn't suit him much. So I would say he would, because looking at the way he batted in the first game, he was very positive, and I'm sure that he will continue batting the same way. But it will be very challenging for him to be successful if he carries on with that approach.
Can't see CSK changing the bowling as such. Noor Ahmed surely after player of the match. They don't mind the extra spin, especially at home, Nick. What about their batting though? They took a while to get over the line against Mumbai. Rachin played really well. Gaikwad played really well. The rest of that CSK team, is it suspect in the early days, at least on paper? Are they overly reliant on those two players that I mentioned?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I can see where you're going with that. Rachin Ravindra, I think, is a fantastic player. I think he's getting better year in, year. I think he's an intelligent player. I think he's quite a smart player. I think he reads game situations really well, as he did in that last game. Tripathi, Huda, there'll be a bit of pressure on them to start well. Terrific players, but yes, you're going to look to bat around Shivam Dubey, so they've got plenty of depth there. I think this game, based on what you're just saying, I think there's a bit more pressure on CSK in this match than RCB. Purely because when I look at the bigger picture stuff, this is one game out of 14 for these guys in a group game. CSK are going to obviously look to base their sort of success around home matches, win big at home. RCB have already had a big away win. If they go there and win, I mean, what a start that is for RCB. So I'm not saying it's going to be a smash and grab if they can win, but I think there's a little bit more pressure on CSK to win the 2 points at home.
Interesting. 17 years they haven't won. Let's get predictions. Puji.
I think it's CSK, but the important part for CSK is their seam bowling lineup. I think their seamers is their weakness. If they don't bowl well, then they could be under pressure.
Well, that's why they had 13, 14 overs of spin in the last game.
Yeah, they had. But if, for example, they will have to bowl at least 2 to 3 overs of pace in first 6, and if that doesn't go well, then they are under pressure. But I think it's CSK who are favourites to start with.
Right, I'm not sure about Matisha Pathirana, but Ellis is decent sort of cover for him. There's Khalil had a good game the other day. Yes, Nick, your predictions.
More than decent.
Yeah.
Nathan Ellis, I'm a massive fan of him, and the conditions will suit him as well. I want to say RCB because I want to go against, I want to keep it sort of level on one side and one on the other, but I'm just finding it hard to do so. I think CSK will be too strong.
It's part of all those theories that you spend time writing down on that.
Well, if they adopt those theories, they've got a chance.
Well, if they watch this video, their chances improve. Thank you, Nick Knight. Cheteshwar Pujara, can they do it? Hasn't been done in nearly 2 decades, but this is a new IPL, it's a new RCB side, it's a new captain, and they will take on the might of CSK at the Chepauk. Build up to that game. On match day will be on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.